Joining us right now, the Academy Award-winning actor Matthew McConaughey, back here on the Rich Eisen Show. How are you, Matthew?
Muchas gracias. Lo sigue viviendo. I'm doing good, Rich. I'm sitting in my own throne with my initials over my head as well right
now. Well, Dion is sitting in the state of Texas. You know, I mean, like that's the way I guess everybody from the state of Texas runs, right? Like sort of with the throne. Unbelievable. Dion is one of a kind. Hey, man, this PSA is a beautiful thing. How did it come about?
Yeah, man. So, you know, me like everybody, sitting at home for the last 5 weeks, and I'm sitting there trying to say, hey, what's the message that needs to get out and when? And, I mean, a month ago, it was clear we need to stay home. And then about 2.5 weeks ago, it became very clear we need to wear masks. So I put out this thing in English and played this character, Bobby Bandito. You can call me Bobby B, about wearing bandanas. And then the mayor of our city, Austin, said, look, the Hispanic community is not getting the message to wear the mask. So I did some research, town and state and United States and worldwide, and noticed that was happening all over the world, that Spanish-speaking communities weren't getting the message. So I said, who would they listen to? Well, they might listen to me speaking my broken Spanish, but I need to find somebody else that can speak it better than me that they would look up to. And so I met Canelo years ago at the Golden Gloves event, called him, and he said he was in. I wrote it, directed him over text, and that's what we got.
No kidding. Okay. By the way, again, I'm not fluent. It doesn't sound broken to me. It sounds like you're pretty fluent in the language there.
Yeah, I was kind of being kind of falsely modest, wasn't I?
I do like it. So is that a one take situation with you in Spanish?
That's a one take sit down. Canelo, it was 2 takes for Canelo because he was in San Diego. And I had to talk to his cameraman who was holding his iPhone over there just about some framing. But other than that, Canelo was one take as well.
So you are directing him from, like, you're live, you're sitting there, you say, okay, move this over, move that over, and Canelo Alvarez just stuck the landing. And then you got a PSA.
He stuck it. Absolutely stuck it. Yeah. So hopefully that message gets out. It was fun to do. And there we go. Found another place to put Just Keep Living, but did it in Spanish. Solo sigue viviendo.
And we're seeing right now on the screen a mask that says "Just Keep Living" as well.
Yeah, across my face.
Yeah, exactly. And then the J.K. Livin Foundation, jklivinfoundation.org, founded by you and Camila.
Yeah.
So to date, you're providing meals and also laptops because, again, the number of kids who depend on meals through school, and obviously homeschooling for some is not simple at all because they don't have the equipment in order to connect to schools. So I'm wondering how you got involved in that, Matthew.
Well, I mean, a lot of the students that we serve through our foundation are in these Title I schools, and a lot of them are depending on some of them 2 meals a day from the school. I mean, that was 2 of their 3 meals a day they were getting from the school. So now they can't go to school. They were missing 2 meals. So we're providing as many meals to them and their families as we can. And then the other thing, a lot of them, you know, now that they're out of school, they want to continue learning, but they don't have the means to. They didn't have a laptop or they didn't have a hotspot. So we started working up some funds and got some laptops out and got them some hotspots where they didn't have them.
jklivinfoundation.org to get involved in that and help out or see some more. And then the All-In Challenge. I'm seeing so much about that. You're involved in that too, right, Matthew?
Yeah. That's another thing about feeding the people that need it, you know, right now. I've got I'm putting up a game day experience down here in Austin, Texas, in Darrell K. Royal Memorial Stadium once this college football season kicks off.
Right.
Who wants to come to A-Town here, spend the day with me and my family, go to a game, Longhorn game. We got you tailgating pregame. We got you during the game in the box. Come on down the field and the sidelines so we can get a bird's eye view or a man's eye view of the game in front of us, and we'll have a great time.
Now, what are you like during a game, Matthew? Are you how intense are you into the action? So people who are going to be bidding on this know what they're getting into here.
Yeah, know this. If anyone's bidding, and if you want to take any pictures or talk about, you know, movies or anything other than what's happening on the field, that's why we're going to get there early. We'll get there and get that done because once the kickoff starts, I'm breaking a sweat. I'm into it. I'm not a great conversation about anything other than the game while the game's happening.
So it's game time, not time as a flat circle. That's the conversation, essentially.
That's it.
That's what you're saying.
It's game time, baby. That's right. Over and over and over for about 3.5 hours. It's game time.
So that's the Minister of Culture talking, essentially, not the Academy Award-winning actor Matthew McConaughey talking, is what you're saying.
Oh, 100%. It would not be good culture doing a Longhorn football game as a Longhorn fan to be having your mind or mouth elsewhere other than on the game.
Pretty much. So, in terms of that, man, oh man, I can't. Obviously, the virus has its own schedule, and that's what we're talking about here with your PSA. And again, jklivinfoundation.org, and you're all in challenge. But man, that first game when it happens, I mean, and I know again, you're a minister of culture. You don't take this stuff for granted, but maybe we all have. I can't wait what that will be like. That's going to be insane. That first game.
It is going to be. I mean, collectively, man, especially in the United States. I mean, for football, for our American football, it is going to be collective. The day will be remembered on many calendars for the rest of many lives when our first game comes back. And then the question is, what are we gonna? It's all in the air. You may know more than I do, but
right.
Are we going to play games? There's going to be some sort of fans. I mean, they will be televised. Are we going to have games where 100,000 capacity stadiums are only taking as many fans that can sit 6 feet apart?
Right.
I don't know. Are they going to provide masks? What are those going to look like? Obviously, collegiately, they got to sell tickets, and everyone wants the games to go on. But I don't know. I mean, we're all up in the air on that right now. Are they going to play without fans but then televise it? Or are we going to find something here in the next few months where we go, we got the vaccine, we're clear, let's roll?
That would be obviously the best option. I think it'll probably be without fans, Matthew, to start. But you're not wrong. And if baseball starts first, apparently, no fans, but the dugout will be, the players won't be in the dugout. They'll be in the stands 6 feet apart. Like they're literally talking about this. Like it's all up in the air, essentially.
Hey, we are calling audibles.
Yes, we are.
At the line of scrimmage on all of this. I mean, look, no one wants to play without fans, but it's still a game. The game can still be played. What do you lose? You besides losing the chance of being there as a player in whatever associated game, the competition's still there. The rules are still the same. You no longer have a home field advantage or a deficit for playing away. But I think that would be worthy too. Go play the game. You're gonna talk about people watching. Whoever's got the rights to the games,
right.
that network's happy.
No doubt about that. And the few minutes I have left with you, let's talk a little bit of professional football. I'm sure so many people, Matthew, who equate you clearly, and for good reason, with Texas football. When they start assuming you're a Cowboys fan, what's the looks that you get when you reveal that you actually root for the Washington Redskins? What is that? What is that moment
at
like?
At least one closed eye when their cheek raises up and they're like, "What?" And then they go, "How the hell did that happen?" And I always tell that story I told you. I said, well, when you're 4 years old watching Westerns with your dad, and you find yourself rooting for the Indians versus the Cowboys, and then when your favorite food's hamburgers, and you got a middle linebacker, number 55, who's now in the Hall of Fame, called Chris Hamburger. When you're 4 years old, man, that's already 2 for 2. And then I will say this: at 8 years old, I was in Texas Stadium, made the 3-hour drive from Longview, Texas, to what was the Cowboys used to play in Texas Stadium. You know this. A lot of people may not, before AT&T.
That's right.
And the Redskin game, I show up. I'm on the sideline at 8 years old, painted burgundy, shirtless, shoeless, with a headdress on and a chamois. Remember the chamois you dry your car with?
Sure.
I had a chamois roped around my waist.
Like a loincloth chamois? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, a loincloth chamois. And I remember I thought I could go naked just like the Indian, like I was saying the Indians would. My mom said, "No, you got to wear your BVDs, man. You got to wear some underwear under there." Now, the Redskin games, that was the only reason I could stay up past 8:30 at night. if the Redskins played on Monday Night Football. It was the reason I'd get in trouble in church because church would go to 12:30, and I'd have to sneak out in the car, put on Pat Summerall calling the game when Dallas was playing the Redskins on the AM radio.
Oh, yeah.
And I just took the penalty. I said, "You can ground me. I'm skipping church."
You took the penalty. You took the penalty. That's great. And I assume that was a 15-yarder, Matthew. I'm sure that was
I mean, I got to stay in the game, but we went backwards. Yes.
Well,
15 personal foul.
Man, did you ever get to an RFK game? Did you ever get to a game in RFK? Did you ever go?
Hell yeah! I was at the last game at RFK, the first game at Jack Kent Cook, and the first game at FedEx Field. I have a mason jar with burgundy soil that I went down on the field in the last game of RFK and pulled up a 12-inch by 12-inch chunk and ran off the field with it. Yeah, I mean, I didn't just because I've been a Redskins fan for a long time.
So what do you think of the current state? I mean, Chase Young was the second overall pick in the draft that went down last week.
Yep.
And Ron Rivera is the new head coach there. What do you think, Matthew?
Well, look, I like where we're heading. We've needed to get our compass corrected here for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, the word culture is thrown around a lot. Like, what's your culture? What's your culture? And everybody, you know, could look over the past however many years and say, wow, look at, you know, New England's the pinnacle of that, of how they run that system. No matter who you are individually, you're coming into Belichick's system, how they run that organization. We've needed to get our compass right. Ron Rivera, I love the hire. I love his mindset. I love how he is changing the culture. I believe Dan Snyder's really found a position now to say, look, I'm the owner. Now I'm going to truly back off and let the person I hired do the job the right way. We got to change. We've needed to make a change, and I think we're really now on our way. You know, we used to be one of the great dynasties, you know, and a championship dynasty. And mind you, there's so few dynasties now. But this is a chance for us to get back in that conversation. It's not going to happen immediately either, I don't think. I think we are now saying, hey, we're going to build a dynasty again. And hail Redskins.
Matthew, HTTR, as they say, right? Hey,
HTTR, baby.
Hashtag. Matthew, always enjoy our chats. I love the PSA. Again, people can check it out, certainly on jklivingfoundation.org, where you can learn more about the meals and the laptops that Matthew and his wife are making sure that kids are equipped with. Your All-In Challenge, where you can go hang out at a game, but talk only about movies and TV before. Pre-game. That's a pre-game conversation. Halftime. That's fine. I always enjoy our chats, Matthew. You're one of a kind.
I do too, Rich. You're a pro. I appreciate it. And thanks for all y'all doing. You and your wife at St. Jude's and stuff too.
Oh, I appreciate that. And your team are all pros. My wife and I are friends with Shannon Rotenberg, and your team that is always great with ours. You're first rate. Thank you, Matthew.
All right, baby. Let's keep it up.
You got it. That's Matthew McConaughey, Academy Award winner. Love that guy, man. He's a great storyteller. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.